What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me showcasing to you guys a green Levi on Nidhoggr. Now, if you guys wondering, this is probably the only Levi showcase I want to do. I think Levi on the rest of the demonic beasts won't be like too crazy, but Nidhoggr I did want to try him out because he does have that innate buff removal and then applying the marker lethality, which does work in PvE, and so we're able to actually try this out. So I recorded this a few days ago. I have the clip here and everything. So we do floor 1, 2, and 3. We don't beat floor 3, but we get very close. So I don't want to spoil it, but let's hop in, guys, and let's kind of talk about it. So I'll give you guys my little live commentary. So yeah, we are running basic stat card set. We are running triple defense on the Miguelda with the recovery rate rolls, and then attacker damage Levi, tag defense Freya, attacker damage Freyr, and then those are the links for gear as well. And yeah, we hop in. We are also running a Mael link Levi as well, guys. So let's hop in here and let's show you guys what Levi is capable of doing. So remember, mark of defense on Levi means that he has what is it? I think it's debuff immunity for 2 turns, and then he increases his crit defense, right? So that's pretty nice. So he's like, from the first few turns, he's gonna be tanking pretty well. And on Nidhoggr, you guys will see here, especially because of the way the fight works, Levi actually does tank fairly well when we are taking these like AoEs, especially when, you know, we should be getting you know, debuff with him, but because we're not getting debuff, we actually do tank it a lot better, right? So there's Levi's AoE. It's not going to do a ton of damage, but we are able to apply a debuff, at least on this phase. So when he goes to the AoE, look how much damage Levi takes, and because we're immune, we actually are just going to tank it and take no extra damage as well. So that's really good, right? So he goes for another AoE. We do tank it as well. And so right here, I'm like, okay, let's do the Miguelda card. Let's do the single target with Levi. And then, or we do the Freya card, then Levi. Yep, that makes sense. And then we follow up with the Miguelda card as well. And yeah, no, obviously we're just trying to build the Freya stacks to get as much all stats for the Levi as possible, and also the lifesteal with Miguelda. So, you know, this is where we actually do get to see Levi do his thing. So yeah, right now we're just building up these stats, guys, and yeah, the only like time you'll really see Levi like pop off, really, guys, is probably gonna be on the like floor 2 and floor 3. That's what I really want to show you guys. When we get to those floors, that's when we're really gonna be cooking. Right now it's kind of just like, you know, the you know, beginning parts where we're just kind of going through, you know, just taking Levi in. He's not really doing too much on this first 2 you know, phases, but or the first floor, I mean. But yeah, over the rest of the fight, he will start to ramp up and do a lot more damage. So we go for the cleanse right there. We drop the ultimate with Levi, and that's gonna do you know, enough to probably kill. Thank you. So we move into the next phase right there. We have 100% pierce rate increase now on Levi, so he's gonna be hitting a lot harder now. And yeah, alongside the Freya giving the, what is it, the 20% all stats, and then Miguelda giving its I think it's 30% HP related stats. So Levi does get a good chunk of support right there for himself, so, you know, he's able to do fairly decently there. And then yeah, we do get these stance removal, double stance removal. Follow up with the Freyr ultimate just to, you know, do as much damage as possible, right? When we drop the ultimate here, 157. Unfortunately, it wasn't like too crazy of damage right there, but yeah, the following turn here, we do a little more damage and finish it off. But yeah, floor 1, nothing too crazy. I mean, you could pretty much take any character into floor 1 Nidhoggr, guys, as long as you have like this setup. If you have Miguelda, Freya, and then just like any character, you could probably do floor 1 Nidhoggr. So I don't think this is like anything too spectacular. But this is like, when we get to the floor 2, it'll really be a good showing of like what Levi's capable of, right? Yeah, we do the cleanse right there. We do the gauge reduction just to, you know, get Miguelda another stack. And then we follow up with the Freya cancel stats and then ult with Freya. So we're just gonna like move into the next phase instantly, right? So we do that, drop the single target, and then follow up with the ultimate right there of Freya, and that's gonna move us into the next phase. So boom, and now we're on the final phase of floor 1. So now what we're trying to do here is we're trying to kill, but we're also trying to not completely mess ourselves up with the setup, right? Because if we kill a little too quick, then we could mess up what happens, and he gets the attack related up and then just screws us over, right? So right here I was like, okay, let's try not to do like too much damage. So I want to do like a good chunk, but not, you know, not enough to where like I applied that attack related up. So I was like, you know, bearing in mind I had the Abyss as well, and I just nuked the Nidhoggr on the second phase. I was like, okay, let's not do too much damage this turn, just because I know the Abyss is going to do a lot as well. So I decided I would just go for the double Miguelda single target, and then the Levi AoE, which is not going to do too much damage anyway. So I was like, let's just rip the cards. And there we go. So we do another 40k right there, nothing too crazy. He's at 15%. We do shred the gauge a good amount. And then so now we're in a position where we can actually go for the kill. And we're getting debuff with the cleanse card that we have as well. So we actually fully heal everybody too, which is really good. So yeah, right here, we do take the AoE, and then we just do the Miguel the buff cleanse to heal us up. And then, yeah, we just finish off the fight now. So we drop Levi ultimate, Freya single target. Oh no, I think I do the, yeah, Miguel the ult first, then Freya single target, Levi ultimate for the Levi win screen. Yes, sir. Look at me. You see, I knew what I was doing, right? I made sure to get that Levi win screen. So boom, we do the Freya single target, and then Levi right there is going to finish him off with the ultimate right there. So we get the win screen. Look at that, guys. So there is Levi on floor 1 of Nidhoggr. And then, yeah, moving into the floor 2 though. So there's the win screen. Moving into floor 2. We hop in, and this is where Levi has his time to shine, right? The boss has a buff, so we actually can attack with Levi for the first 2 turns. Not even just the first 2 turns, just for the, when he actually, we're about to kill him pretty much, right? But pretty much the first 2 turns, because with the amount of damage we're able to deal, we do, you know, make it so that we're able to kill him on the 2nd turn anyway. So, yeah, so what we do is we just start wasting my Freya cards to build the all stacks, the all stat stacks, and then single target with Freya right there just to do a little bit more chip damage as well. And we have him around the like 40% ish HP range. And yeah, they want to give me all the Levi cards when I'm going for a run here where I have to actually buff remove and all that, right? They always do this to me, so unfortunately that's just the way that happened. But yeah, and then for this phase right here, right, like this is really nice, but the one thing that does suck is that because Levi's not debuffed, we actually do not lifesteal. Or we do not get any healing from the Miguel the buff card as well. So that is a little unfortunate, right? Like when we do the buff card, look, so Levi's the only one that won't get a heal, which is so unfortunate. So a little scary for him, but as long as we're finishing off the fight with the Levi card, then we're gonna be fine. Because we want to make sure that we finish off with Levi, you know, when he's at that, you know, percentage of HP, right? So yeah, doing the attack last will be what we want to do. So what I do, I think this phase, I actually go for the probably Freya ult, yeah, and then Levi ultimate to make sure we lifesteal, because that's probably the scariest thing that could happen to me, right? So yeah, I do the Freya ultimate. I do the no, maybe I cleanse first. Do I cleanse first? I forget. Yeah, this is where I was kind of contemplating, like, how do I want to go about it? Because Levi ultimate will do enough damage to kill and you know, break the thing, but we have to heal first, right? So I think I do go for the heal first actually as well. And I went for the ultimate, really? No way I didn't. I was gonna say, yo, go for the heal, amazing. What are we doing, bro? Like, you see, this is what happens sometimes when I watch back my clips. I'm like, what was I really thinking to do? You know what I mean? What was I really thinking to do? So right here, I guess I don't go for the heal at all with the Miguelda, but we go for the gauge reduction though, just to get another stack with her at the very least. And then we go for the Freya ultimate, which does, you know, enough damage right there. And we follow up with the Levi, boom. 304k, and that's gonna get us the full heal with Levi so that he's not the lowest HP, and that's all I wanted, right? I wanted to make sure that he wasn't the lowest HP, because if he was getting targeted with no Tarmiel link, he is gonna get rolled. So right here, we're in a pretty decent situation. I mean, I had to check to see if Freya was the lowest HP. So it was 347, right? So I was good, and then 287 and 344. So Miguelda is the lowest HP, so she will be the one that gets targeted, which is good. And so now I'm in a situation where I can use Levi cards, so it's okay if I use them. But we want to save probably the single targets, right? Because that's where we're going to do damage on that final phase where he buffs up every single turn. And because Levi pretty much acts as having buff removal on both his skills, he's able to attack the boss on that final phase and, you know, have pretty much no detriment to doing it, right? So yeah, we do the attack card with Freya right there. Follow up with the Freya ultimate, boom, boom, and then we're going to do the double damage cap. And then, yeah, we're pretty close to finishing off this second phase here. Levi is getting attacked, but remember that the boss does this sometimes where he'll, like, switch targets, but he always makes sure to finish the final attacks against the character that is lowest HP. So even though Levi did get attacked there, the double follow-up attacks were into the Miguelda, which is exactly, you know, what we want the boss to do, right? So right here, I was like, okay, I don't want to use the Levi attack cards. Yeah, I wanted to save that, I thought. So I think what I do is I just cleanse and then just use all the Miguelda cards, right? I assume that's what I go for, yeah. And then we just go Miguelda, yeah? That makes sense. Because then we clear out our hand, we get our ultimate on pretty much everybody, and then we're going to be moving into the next phase next turn. Because we'll get another, like, attack card or something to, you know, help us do enough damage. And then, so yeah, we do that. And that's going to be, what, a triple gauge fill because we did the, actually quad gauge fill. So if we had, what, I think the only person that doesn't get ultimate would be Freyr then, yeah? Yeah, he's the only one that doesn't. So we did quad gauge fill on the entire thing, so that's good. And then, unfortunately, it seems Freya gets the seal right there. And then you switch from Freya to Levi. And then, yeah, right here we just go for the cleanse. We go for the, I assume just ultimate, yeah. And then we just waste a card. Yeah, because that's enough damage to make sure we get the kill, even without stance or moving. So we just waste the, I think it was the Pierce card, yep. So we go for the cleanse, everyone's going to be full HP, moving into the 3rd floor, which is exactly what we want. We all with Freya, it's going to do 168k. The Miguel ultimate is going to finish him off, boom. So there we go, we get the kill, and we're moving into the final phase. Now guys, this is where we actually see Levi cook. You know, we're finally at that point, 10 minutes in the video, we're finally at the point where Levi can cook. So this is his chance. So the boss has a buff, right? Remember, whenever Levi removes a buff, he gets a mark of lethality on the enemy, which means they take, what is it? They have an easier time to get crit on, right? And then we also have ×2 damage on the single target, and Levi is increasing his pierce rate by 100%, with the sure hit attack having ×2 pierce rate as well. So boom, we drop the ultimate, it's going to apply the mark of lethality, so we have a higher chance to crit. We go for the sure kill attack, and look how much damage it does, guys. That's really solid. 350k. And 350k lifesteal too. That's solid. That's solid. I can't even, you know, fault Levi there. I thought that was actually good damage, considering, you know, this is a character that is not made for this fight, and we're really only taking him in here just for the showcase. But he was doing decent though. Like, that's better than I expect. And because the way he works is that his attack card always is a buff removal, we have another buff on the boss, we can remove it instantly. So Levi here acts as like a really good buff removal character for this final phase. And honestly, this is why I think, like, if Tyr had a Holy Relic and he had buff removal, this would be the exact team pretty much, right? It would be like, imagine like Levi, but with like Tyr's kit, right? Where he's buffing the Ragnarok characters already. He would benefit from the Ragnarok characters as well. And like, you know, the buff removal will be so good for this phase, right? Like, I don't know. I think buff removal would definitely be a really strong thing for one of the Ragnarok characters to get. Because right now, the only one that's good, relatively, I'd say is Scotty, right? And that's what the people run when they run this like full Ragnarok team, is they run Scotty. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think, you know, if they had a Tyr, like if Tyr pretty much had buff removal as his Holy Relic for like one of his cards, maybe, it doesn't have to be both, it could just be one of the cards, then like he would be insane, and he would be on the best Nidhoggr team in my opinion. It would be Ragnarok. But because I think, you know, with the way Nidhogg's structured right now and how they buffed the God's team, I think God's team is just better. But yeah, Levi ultimate right here removes 1 buff. Remember, it's not a complete buff removal. It is a 1 buff removal at a time, guys. Remember that. But look at the damage. Look at the damage. 300k on a rank 1. Like, that's solid. You know, that's better than Miguel that ultimate just did, right? So that's really good. Considering, like, the damage Levi's able to do there, that's obviously with the pure straight buff from the ultimate, but that's good. You know what I mean? So I can't even fault him. He actually was doing pretty good this run, for sure. So yeah, I mean, overall, like, Levi is not a bad character when using him on Nidhoggr, but he's not a character I'm gonna recommend you guys run, right? He's just more of a showcase character, which is the whole point. So right here, what I do then is we go for the cleanse with Miguelda. We go for that one, yep. And then we do the sure hit card with Levi, because we do have a buff on the boss, and we want to remove that and also apply the crit resistance lower. And then Freya ultimate, Freyr attack card, and it's GG. So that's pretty much what I you know, plan to go for, right? Oh, I do Freyr single target first just to make sure he life steals enough. Okay, that's smart too. That's smart too. But as long as the Freya ultimate does the job, then we're good. And then Levi just has to life steal a good amount of damage here, so he does, what is that? 170k without the ultimate for the extra 100% pierce, right? So we lost the 100% extra pierce, and that's how much damage we're kind of going to do, right? But yeah, boom, the ultimate finishes off, and we move into the floor 3, guys. So now, I have to find my floor 3 run where I actually beat it. So I think it's this, right? Yeah, okay, so right here. So what we'll do actually is we'll kind of speed through some of these phases, because this phase right here we were kind of just like messing around. I want to show you guys really the most important part was definitely the final phase. So right here, you know, we had some struggle, but we got through, and we made sure that everyone finished with full HP. So boom, Levi kills, we move on, and yeah, Freya is the lowest. I think she was the lowest of the team. So we go on to the phase 2, and this is where we're doing like all the, like, you know, You know what I mean? We're gauge shredding, we're doing these stance removals. We're kind of just like wasting my cards here. So I'm gonna pretty much skip through like most of this as well, guys. But you guys get the gist, right? Like we're doing our stance removals, we're dropping our ultimates, we're doing all of that. And we're trying to live through the entire fight here, just kind of ripping our ultimates and all that. And yeah, the boss is already at 0% right here. And so, you know, in pretty much a few turns from here, we actually do finish it off. So, yeah, we do, yeah, so he's at 16%, 13, 10. And I think this next turn right here is where we, oh no, not this turn. We actually had to stall a lot on this phase, yeah. This phase we had to do a lot of stalling, man. Okay, so right here is where we finish it off and we move into the final phase, which is mainly what I wanted to show you guys, because the only time you'll really get to see damage is from the final phase. And honestly, Levi on the final phase, he didn't do as good as I hoped he would do, because if you guys don't know, the boss at the final phase doesn't have any buffs. So Levi is not going to be doing the sure hit damage like crazy. It's kind of just there, right? So like the only like the main like showcase for Levi was really that floor 2 that I just showed you guys, where like on that final phase of floor 2, he actually does really good, right? Like that's where it actually mattered. And because of the fact that like Levi like needs the buffs to like actually benefit, where with the mark of lethality, it makes him a little bit worse when, you know, even though we have the buff removal, it's not really doing anything for us, right? So yeah, and then we checked the stats just to see if we were HP lowered. I think Freya was the lowest HP there, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and then we dropped the Levi ultimate just to see how much damage we're gonna do. And yeah, I mean, you know, as to be expected, Levi's not gonna be doing as much damage as you guys think, right? This is a 6/6 ultimate, boom, 354k. You know, if there was a buff on the enemy, maybe more damage, but without the buffs, look at the damage. So that's with the 100% pure straight up on a rank 1. That's still solid, but like it's not damage that I'm gonna be, you know, like too crazy about, you know what I mean? Like that's nothing too crazy. And so yeah, I mean that's pretty much kind of the showing that you guys see from Levi though, guys. And on this floor 3, I did get kind of cooked, but it's definitely possible to clear with this team. It's just the run that I was doing here, I didn't actually win because of the fact that Levi got cooked a little bit too much. So right here you'll see we do the ultimate, we drop ultimate with Levi. He doesn't crit, but 350k is still pretty good, right? 350k is still solid. And then yeah, when he gets the all stats up, when the boss gets the all stats up right here, this is where he starts to do a ton of damage. And we didn't put him in that 30%, but we still shred the gauge. So yeah, we're on this like final phase here, but look at how much damage Levi takes, right? So the ultimate, we are ignite blocking, so that's good. But we take the AoE right there, and look at that, man. He's just taking so much damage. And remember, we don't have the Tarmiel link on Levi either. So now with the amount of HP I have left, it's like he can't really do anything. He does heal a little bit, but with what he has left, he can't really do anything. And so when you're in a situation like this, he's kind of just a liability. That's why I'm saying if Tyr had that, he would benefit from the basic stat increase from Freyr's Holy Relic, and then he would actually have enough stats to like tank really well, right? So Levi, for like what he's doing, guys, is not bad. And you definitely could beat floor 3 with like a good showcase run. But right there, like I did die unfortunately with Levi because he just could not tank and I had no cards to lifesteal. So even if I had like maybe like a heal card, maybe I would have been able to beat it. But Levi dies right there, and then yeah, pretty much the rest of the fight we fiddle out because we can't really do anything, right? We just don't do enough damage. So yeah, but that's pretty much the showcase though, guys. Mainly what I wanted to show you guys was the floor 2, because I think floor 2 really got to show you guys like what he's capable of, and that's not bad. And that goes to show you that, like, you know, if Tyr was able to do that, like that's why I think Tyr would have been the Nidhoggr unit if you had the buff removal on a relic or something, or like something like that. If you had buff removal in his passive, he would be crazy. But yeah, I mean, Tyr is already a good unit. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. That's pretty much the showcase for Green Levi on the Nidhoggr my Beast battle. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of Green Levi and what you guys' thoughts on him. Yeah, I mean, he was doing pretty good. You know, for what it was, he's not a character made for Nidhoggr, but the fact I'm able to take him in and do well, that goes to show that's pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video, man. Peace out and have a great rest of your day, guys.